Hey, what is going on, everybody? All right. So I'm excited. I haven't been on live here in our we've got our Facebook group over here and then our YouTube channel over here. It's been a little bit since I've been live with you guys. So how are we doing, everybody? Are we making some money? Are we finding some good flips? Are we struggling to get started? Where are we at in our Amazon journeys? All right. Let me know in the chat. Hey, what's up, Wesley? Yeah, so I am super excited. We've got some fun stuff planned that's coming up for tonight. I'm going to be doing a couple things. So I always like to bring something to the table that will actively benefit you guys. So I'm going to be doing some live sourcing. So if you're here on this live video, stay with me because I'm going to be doing some Amazon to Amazon flipping for you. So anything that I find on this video, you could flip. Now, if you're watching the replay, you probably won't be able to snag these because the thing with Amazon to Amazon flips is they usually come and go in just a few minutes. So you really have to be sort of watching the live in order to get access to these. And I'm going to explain kind of how we're going to go about finding them and the thought process behind that and all of that. Also, I am super excited because if you look up here, there's a little QR code. We are launching our next sourcing camp, okay? So this is the Amazon sourcing camp. We do this about once a quarter. It's usually 3 or 4 times per year. This is the 8th one that we have done here. Every single time that we've put on sourcing camp, it's just gotten better and better and better and bigger and longer. There's been more content in it. Basically, it's a bunch of sellers who get together. There's a bunch of us experienced sellers who, like, we've been to Amazon events before and things like that, and honestly, a lot of the events out there in the Amazon space are really just kind of like hype up events. You go, you can meet with people, and that's great, and that's usually why we go, because the actual speakers, it's like, I'm not really learning anything. There's not really a whole lot of value, at least for me as someone who's been around the block a little bit. Now, what we wanted to do was sort of turn this on its head, because instead of giving people this sort of like fluffy overview or like theoretical how-tos, things like that, I wanted to take people sourcing. We wanted to sort of go to these stores virtually and have people watch over our shoulders while we ourselves sourced, okay? And I don't know everything about Amazon. I'll be the first to tell you there are a million ways to make $1 million on Amazon. I know some of them, but I don't know all of them. There's so many different ways and nuances and niches that people get into. So instead of me sort of pretending like I know everything, I am the guru of all gurus that you must listen to, I've just invited a bunch of other active sellers. Now, I only have brought in people that are actively walking the walk. I don't bring in anyone. If they don't have an active storefront and they're not actively selling, sorry, they're not going to be teaching you anything, okay? I have to have people who are walking the walk, who are in the trenches, and who know what's working right now for them and their business. And we're going to get to talk to them, pick their brains, watch them source, see where they go, the stores they use, the tools they use, the methods that they utilize. Some people love using Keepa and they just like manually source everything. Some people love using all of the tools out there and they're automating stuff. Some people will build teams of virtual assistants. And so we have people who are going to teach us how to hire teams and outsource that, okay? All of the different sourcing methods that you can think of, we're going to be, whether it's OA, RA, A to A, I think we've got some people talking about wholesale. We have people talking about selling on Walmart. I mean, there's just so much is going to be packed into this. So I am very excited. If you're interested in that, scan that QR code, or you can see there's a link right there. For the next week, so up until next weekend, we're giving early bird prices. So it's half off. Camp starts the end of this month. So March 28th through April 6th. So it's 10 days. It's Friday and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all that week. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it ends on that final Sunday. So Friday to the following Sunday. The whole thing was recorded because I don't think anybody has time to come to every single session. There's going to be about 50 hours of breakout sessions during sourcing camp, and I don't expect anyone to have the time and capacity to come to all of those sessions live. That's just not a realistic ask. So if you can come to them live, great. If you are like, oh, I'm busy during that time, that's fine too. It's all recorded, so you can still get it now and then watch the recording because you have the recordings for life, okay? So QR code's up there, links down there. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them into chat. Yeah, Walmart is a huge opportunity, Chris. Hey, what's up, Nate? The second Nate, the lesser Nate. All right. Yeah, there's so much opportunity with with Walmart. So we're talking about that, some tools that you can use to speed up Walmart sourcing and how to sort of balance like, well, you kind of want to sell on both platforms at this point. So all that stuff is fantastic. All right. Let's do some sourcing for you guys. If you have any questions while we're going along, feel free to interrupt me. I'm going to be doing some Amazon to Amazon flips here. So any questions about what I'm doing, about sourcing camp, or even just issues that you're having, I'm here to help. I'll stay here. I'll commit to 30 minutes, but if we're really rocking and rolling, then I'm happy to stay on longer. Greater than or equal to Nate. Yes, exactly. All right. For tonight, I think I'm going to show you guys a really cool tool. If you've never used this is such an easy little cheat code tool that you can utilize for doing lots of things. Tonight, I'm going to be showing you with Amazon to Amazon flips. Okay, so we're going to enter the matrix here for just a second. There we go. We are in the matrix. Okay, so I want to show you guys. So Amazon to Amazon flips, A to A, because that's what I'm going to be doing some live sourcing here tonight. When you are doing Amazon to Amazon flips, there's lots of different misconceptions about what this could be. Back in the day when I was first starting, so we're like 7-8 years ago, when I was just a beginner seller, I thought of Amazon to Amazon flips as like you bought this year's hot toy, and you're looking at like the Keepa chart. So this is the historical graph of the price. And you see that this toy is always like, I don't know, 30 bucks. And you think like, I think this toy might sell out. And so it'll go blank for a while. And then people will come back in stock and it'll be way up here and be selling for like $100. Okay. So sort of like if you're familiar with The Office, how Dwight buys all the Barbies for 30 bucks and then sells them for 100 to everybody. That's kind of my experience when I was a beginner seller with Amazon to Amazon flips. Now, that's a way of doing it. It's a lot. There's a lot of risk in that. I don't love it. You're kind of gambling. It could be fun, don't get me wrong, but it's hard to really build a consistent business on that sort of hopes and prayers and dreams and all of that. So instead, what I like to focus on is I like to focus on charts where let's say it's 30 bucks, all right? 30, there we go. Let's say it's usually 30 bucks. And for whatever reason, today, right now, it's dropped down and it's like 10 bucks. And you're like, what the heck? Why is this $10? And we don't know exactly why it's 10. Maybe someone's going out of business. Maybe there's a pricing error. Maybe Amazon is matching the price of a third-party seller. Maybe a third-party seller is liquidating their inventory because they're just sick of Amazon. So they're getting rid of everything, okay? But for whatever reason, today's price is $10. But we see historically, it's usually going for this. So this is what I'm going to be looking for. Hey, what's up, Eric? This is what I'm going to be looking for, and I'll be sharing any leads that I find are yours to flip. Usually there's only a few in stock, so it's kind of like who's ever is the fastest and whoever is ungated in these, make sure that you're ungated. Don't just buy stuff without checking all that. All right, so always do your own due diligence. But this is sort of what we're going to be looking for. Now, I'm going to be using a really cool tool called Nepeto here for this. There's lots of different ways that you could do Amazon to Amazon flips. This is not the only way, but it's a very easy and fast way that I think it's a great way that people can kind of get their feet wet. And there's so many other things that Nepeto does as well that it's just easy to jump into. Okay, so I pulled up this Amazon to Amazon flips section. Now, I have not put in any parameters at all for you guys. I'm going to be doing one thing only, and that is the ROI minimum. Okay, let's just put an ROI of like 30%. Will I go outside of that? Yes, absolutely I will. But just to give us something easy to kind of initially look through, that's what we're going to click through. Okay, now we're going to hover our mouse over these Keepa charts. Now, if you're a beginner and you're not really sure what a Keepa chart is, the Keepa chart is just the historical information. So this like red and sometimes blue line, that's basically the price. So I'm looking for something where historically the price is pretty average, like it's usually, so we see on this one, the price back in February 8 was $200, and now for whatever reason it's 50. Now, do I like this? I don't love it because honestly, it's been down at this $50 price point since February 22. Like it's been this way for a couple weeks now. I don't know. I think I'm going to pass on that. It also looks like something that might be private labeled, so I'm not really going to mess with that either. Okay. This one, I'm probably going to pass. A big dress like this, there's going to be some other prep requirements. You're going to have a higher return rate, things like that. So, I'm going to pass on this one. We're going to pass on this. This is just not historically good. Pass on this one. Not enough meat on the bone. This one's a maybe. I don't know. I don't love charts like this. I will sometimes flip things like this, but like we see, so right now it's priced at 80, but it's priced at 80 a lot. It kind of flips back and forth. I feel like a lot of times when I see this, it's just websites trying to manipulate like pricing so they can say, oh, we're 70% off right now. And they make customers think that it's a deal when in reality, it basically is always selling for 80. Okay. This one is a little more interesting. So I see it's done this a little bit, this drop down to 50 bucks, but it's only done it a couple times. And it looks like usually it's up there at about 120-ish. So let's click on this and find a little more information about it. All right. And as I'm going along, again, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them into the chat. Okay? Hey, what's up, Gina? What's up? We got more Chris's here. How's it going? There is no spoon. All right. So yeah, historical, about 120 for the past 3 months. And that looks pretty consistent for quite a while. And then every once in a while, it's dropping down to this $59.99. Now, this is a third-party seller. Some people don't like flipping stuff from third-party sellers, and that's fine if you don't like doing that. I would never say that you are wrong for doing that, but I'm also not going to say that you are wrong if you choose to flip from third-party sellers. I will do Amazon to Amazon flips from third-party sellers. My only caveat is you need to vet them. Make sure they're like actually a real seller, not like some dropshipper from China or something like that where you're not going to get it. This one, I might skip because in the last 30 days, they've gotten 11 reviews and 64% of those have been negative. Yeah, this is a very, very high negative rating. Boots are used and scratched. Same item over and over again. I'm going to skip that one. Okay, so the price was good, but the seller, it didn't pass the smell test. Okay, so let's move on. This one, not quite big enough of a drop, I don't think. Yeah, same with this. This one's kind of all over the place as well. This one's kind of normalized. All right, this one looks a little bit interesting. Well, yeah, I see Amazon's up there at 200, but the buy box. So this orange section, this is Amazon being in stock and selling it, which you can compete against Amazon all day, every day. I don't know who tells people that they can't, but you can. There's nothing wrong with that. The red line is the buy box. So I can see someone has the buy box and they're pulling it away from Amazon. So I'm probably not going to mess with that because we're just sort of at the normal buy box price. This one could be interesting. I've sold a lot of Speedo before in the past. It's got a normal price of about 37-ish. Today it's 20. There might be enough meat on the bone here. Let's check it out, guys. And this is a live video. Like, I don't know what we're going to find. We probably won't find nothing. I'll stay on video until we find something, but we'll get there. Maybe I'll switch gears and I'll show you something else too. All right. Okay, so we see $37 is kind of the normal average. Sometimes it goes up to 42, but I'll say that 37 is pretty much our average here. Yeah, that's pretty standard. Actually, well, even up to 42 last year. 42 is very normal. Okay, I'll do best case, worst case. So our best case, we're gonna say like, all right, best case we can make this $50 back here. Worst case is this 37. Okay. Now, our buy cost on this is $19.05 sold by Amazon. Okay, so let's input this. $19.05. All right, so our worst case here, selling it for just about 37, we're making about 32% ROI. Our best case, if we can sell this for, we'll just call it 50, we're making really good. So this has very good upside. And the downside is still you are very profitable. Like your worst case scenario is still you're making 30% ROI. So I like this a lot. If you are ungated in Speedo, this is going to be a great one for you. I will just drop this into chat so you guys get that. All right, let me drop it into YouTube chat over here as well. All right. So there's only one left in stock. So one of you guys is going to get to flip this. Now, I'm going to show you something because you can often turn one A to A flip into multiple A to A flips. Okay, so this was the size 26 Infinite Speedo Green. Well, are there any other variations that also have dropped in price to this 1905 price? There's a decent chance that this is not the only size that's doing this, okay? So we're just gonna click on this variations tab in Keepa. And we're looking for, ooh, that potentially, this one might be something. So I see sometimes it's 10, but sometimes it's 30. This one is usually 30 and today it is 11. So that one is definitely interesting. This one's usually 30. Today it's 12. That's definitely interesting. All right. So there is a lot here. I'm just going to go, I'll post one more, but this is sort of your homework now. I'm putting them, if you go to this list, go through the variations and pick the ones that you like. Now, doing an Amazon to Amazon flip and you're only buying one, if I'm only buying one single unit of a clothing item and I see that it has plenty of reviews and the sales rank is fine. For me personally, I'm not checking the like which variations are selling the fastest because, and this might break some brains out here. Some people might disagree with this, but if you're only buying one, the difference between this exact color size variant, the difference between this selling, let's say, 50 per month versus 5 per month literally does not matter if you only have one unit. If you only have one, it could sell once per month. It could sell once every 3 months. It does not matter. It doesn't, I don't care if it sells 1,000 times over 3 months or once in 3 months. I just want to sell my one over the next 3 months. So if I sell my one, boom, I'm happy. And so if you're going really shallow, like you're not going deep on something, I wouldn't spend time like checking variations and analyzing this. You can get some information, but honestly, I feel like a lot of people get stuck in this analysis paralysis and they do too much research when in the end, like, just pull the trigger, just get some of these items and try to flip them. It is an inventory-based business, so you got to get inventory to sell it. And this one might not sell as fast as, say, like the black variation, but I'm sure it's selling just fine. Like, yeah, this one has 0 ratings and 0 reviews. Do I think that this one has ever sold? Yeah, I think it probably has. Just because it doesn't have a single rating doesn't mean it's never once sold. Okay, we can organize this here. Yeah, so like the blacks and blues and the whites are selling better. Yeah, sure. But yeah, I think that this variation probably is still selling, especially when you're getting it this cheap. I'm okay sitting on this for a little bit, even if it takes 4, 5, 6 months to sell. To me, that's not a deal breaker at all. Okay, so all of these, I see a wide range of these reviews. Yeah, I'm not too worried about this if you are going wide. Okay, now if I'm trying to get like 50 units of something, yes, that's when I start researching the variations and figuring out which variation sells the most. I'm going deeper. But in something like this where you're just getting one, you got your one, boom, done. All right, so we've got 2 so far. Let me see if I can find you guys 1 or 2 more. All right, so and a reminder, there's a QR code up at the top right of your screen if you're just now joining us. All right, stop this for a second. So if you're just now joining us, there's a QR code right there above my head. There's also a link down below here. I can try to, let me see, can I get a different, yeah. I'll just post the direct link to this as well in the chat for those of you guys on mobile and you can't scan a QR code while you're also watching this. All right, I'll put this link down below. We've got sourcing camp coming up. It starts at the end of this month. So we're just now kind of releasing it, telling people that it exists. This is our biggest event. It's sort of the staple thing that Hustle Buddies has been doing the past few years. This is our 8th sourcing camp. Most people who come to many. I mean, we've had people come to like 6 or 7 of the sourcing camps. They just come every time because every time you learn new stuff. Every time we've got new speakers, or even if we have some of the same speakers, they're giving new presentations on new ways that they're sourcing. Like what is working now? What's something that people are doing right now in 2025 that they weren't doing during our last sourcing camp in Q4? How have things changed? What's a new strategy, or maybe an old strategy that they've just shifted back into? Okay, so there's always new stuff every single time. It's a ton of fun getting into this. All right. All right. Let me go back to sharing my screen again for you guys. We'll see if we can find any more leads. All right, perfect. And if you have any questions, feel free, let me know. Drop them down into the chat. All right, McDavid chest protector, baseball. What is this going for? 24. Looks like it's usually up at 40. There might be something here. Let's check this out. Let's look at the whole keep it chart, get a bigger picture instead of this like abbreviated version. All right, so I see 40 to 47. Oh, up to 60. All right, so last year between 45 and 60. So let's do best case, worst case. What is our upside? What's our downside here? So 45 is kind of the low end. You'd make $6 profit, 26% ROI, which is, I don't love that. That's not ideal, but I'd be fine with that. Our upside is 60, I guess. All right, and that's very good. Maybe if you split the difference, you think, I could probably sell that for 50. You kind of think like, what's the middle ground? Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. There's no one else is really trying to sell this, so there's not a whole lot of competition here. Who's it? Let's see, it's sold by Amazon, so it's not a third party. Ooh, this is a quick note. If you're doing Amazon to Amazon flips, they're going to try to ship this to you in its original box. Don't ever allow them to do that. Make sure that you select the little option that says ship in Amazon package, or else they're just going to stick a shipping label literally onto the poly bag of this and send that to you in the mail. And you do not want that. You want this to come in a box and be protected so that you can then take the poly bag and the product out of the box and resell it for yourself. All right. Okie dokie. Yeah, I like that one. I'm going to add this one. I'll throw this over in chat for you guys. So I think that looks decent. Just at first glance, I don't see any red flags. If you see a red flag that I missed, feel free to let me know in the chat because I do miss things. Alrighty. Let's see if we can get one more for you guys. Gloria Vanderbilt, very common pants brand. You can find these a lot at like Kohl's and Macy's when they're running sales. So this is a very common flipping brand here. $14.30. There's a pretty solid price for a pair of jeans. Warm gray. It's not good as like a blue jean, but gray isn't all that uncommon. Now, I don't love that it's only existed for 8 days. This has existed for 99, and it started at 50 and then dropped down to 14. Let me pull up the other variations. This could be a gold mine, or it could be horrible. These are all 14. Interesting. Huh. I wonder if Amazon is, because they're all the exact same. It's this 1440 and it's by Amazon. I wonder if Amazon is matching the price of a different website. Like maybe Kohl's is running a sale or something on this. 1430. Interesting. Well, let's just run those numbers. 48. Yeah, that's huge. 120% ROI. And there are plenty of these available, plenty of sizes and colors that are available. Huh. Yeah, I like this personally. I'm a little bit more like I'll take some more risks. I'll take some bigger swings just to kind of shoot for the fences. And I'll be the first to tell you, like, this is more risky. We don't have a whole lot of data to work off of. We're just working on 99 days. It might not come back in price, but that's really cheap for a pair of pants. I'd be very surprised if this stayed at $14. If it goes back to 48, I don't know. How about, let's do this. What if it goes to like 36, kind of halfway in between? We would still be pretty good. 29 that's when we get to so-so territory. 34 is about as low as I would want to go. Yeah, I mean, I think I like that. I'll tell you, it's a little more risky, but I'll share this one in chat with you guys. Yeah, there's someone was saying it's unavailable. It depends on which size that you are clicking on. So like the size 6 looks like it's available for this Grand Rapids Whiskers. 12 short. For something like this with less data, well, right there we see the size 6 has sold 50 in the past 30 days. So that's pretty safe. Some of these like 12 short or 12 long, I might stay away from some of these just because I don't have as much data to back them up. Although that has 3 reviews on it. Oh, no, never mind. No, I think I'm wrong. This color seems like it's really crushing it in all the different variants and sizes. So yeah, feel free, go crazy, guys. All right. Okay, let me see if we've had any questions so far. I'll pop it back over here. All right, any questions about what I've done so far? Amazon flipping, issues, any aces you want me to check, anything like that? I'll or for a little bit and see where we are at. All right. So yeah, if you do want to sign up for Sourcing Camp, make sure that you do so within the next week. Next week it goes back up to the normal price. Okay. So we're doing half off right now. Again, it's over 50 hours of content. I mean, there's so much packed in here. Like I give away pretty much all the OA websites that I use. I give all that stuff away for free. All of like the Keepa presets that I use for my own business, and even like these other sellers coming in, they're adding stuff. I know one of my friends, Tony, is coming, and he used ChatGPT to code his own web scraper. So sort of like what Nepeto does or what Tactical Arbitrage does, but he coded it himself for free using ChatGPT, and now does full website scrapes exactly how he wants them. Nothing is missed. He gets every single product, and so he can see like, okay, every time that there's a new sale, he just runs his list through that new sale. It takes him maybe like an hour or so, but he says he's pulling like 10,000 leads that are profitable per week. He's like, I will never go through all of these. I will never be able to buy them all. But it's interesting to see his process, see how he does that. But I know last time, I think I can probably talk him into doing it again this time. I know last time he shared a ton of those just full website scans for us. Like, this is literally every single profitable product that is on this website at this exact point in time. So he was sharing that last time, which was great. Over on YouTube, limited time. What is the price right now? It should be about 200. I forget exactly where. Let's see, 250, 248. So, yeah, it's a 10-day event. So you think it's like, it's like $20 ish a day to come out with about 50 hours of these breakout sessions. You'll get way more than that. So another cool thing about this is, so like a normal Amazon event, you can go there, you can get hyped up. That's great. You can talk to some people. That's great. But then you leave and you didn't actually make any money. You might have learned a couple things. Mostly you're just kind of pumped up. For this, we're teaching you how to fish, but then we're taking you fishing with us. And then we're giving you the fish that we catch while we're out fishing. And so with that analogy, like, you're watching over, let's say you're watching over my shoulder or Tony's shoulder, whoever's shoulder we're watching over. You're watching over our shoulder as we do some sourcing. We're going to explain what we're doing, why we're doing it, how we're doing it. And then whatever we're finding, we just give to you. Like, we're not buying it for ourselves that day. We're sourcing for the group. So last time, I think we ran the numbers, and if people had bought one, well, that doesn't even make sense because there was like 2,000 leads or something shared last time, profitable leads. So you could have bought in like one out of every 10 items that was shared, and you would have made like $1,000. So like, we're giving you all of those leads for free as a part of this. Okay. Plus you get all of the replays and all that stuff. So we really want to make this as like no brainer as we can. In fact, I sort of added like the no value guarantee. If you go through the whole thing, you come to the entire sourcing camp. I'm not even saying like, oh, you got to do it within the first day. Like, no. Come to all 10 days of sourcing camp. And if you're like, man, this Nate guy, he was just blowing smoke up my butt. Like, this was worthless. I don't know who these people are. They don't know what the heck they're talking about. I'm an expert at this. I knew everything that these people were saying. I didn't learn anything. Let me know. It's like, man, this is a waste of my time. I'll say, okay, cool. No worries. Here's your money back. All right. Sorry for wasting your time. So I try to make this as safe as possible for people to kind of pull the trigger on this. So sounds too good. That's the goal, man. All right. Yeah, the catch is you got to implement it, and that's what I tell people. In fact, I schedule time during camp where it's like, listen, if you've paid all this money to come to camp and you've committed to coming and like watching other people source, commit to spending this breakout session sourcing for yourself. Like, don't watch me do it. Don't listen to somebody else do it. Go do it yourself. Go just pick one of the things, because like, you're going to be getting a lot of information, a lot of different styles and methods and things like that. And there's a million ways to make $1 million on Amazon. You don't need to do everything. Just pick a couple and then implement them, and then implement them more, and implement them more, and implement them more. So that's really the key thing here is, if you're just going to come and listen and not do anything, then, I mean, just save your money. Just, I don't know, go play video games, go hang out with your family, whatever it is you're going to do. Go watch, take your family of 5 out to the movies, and it'll probably cost you about the same amount of money. It's so expensive to go to movies now. But yeah, like, if you're not going to implement it, then just pass on it. I don't want to like convince you to come to something if it's just going to be a waste of your time, because you're not actually going to do it. But if you're sort of that kind of person who's like, oh yeah, I will absolutely take action, you can be a beginner seller. That's fine. I don't really care where you're at. We sort of gear this more towards like the middle of the road or intermediate sellers. I include things for the beginners to catch you guys up. But this is really like, I want to show people how to scale this. And sure, like, if you've never shipped anything before, I'll send you some guides on that, and we can do like one little breakout session for the beginners. But I want to bring people to the point where they are quitting their jobs, or if they've already quit their jobs, like maybe they're selling 6 figures a year, I want to take that to 7 figures a year. Maybe they're at 7 figures. Can we take that to high 7? Can we take it to 8 figures? Like, we have camp counselors who are doing 8 figures of sales a year. And we can show you the well-worn narrow path. Like, there's a path to get there. We've done it. Other people have done it. It's a solved equation. Okay. So you can follow in our footsteps so long as you're committed to taking those steps. But it's not like a secret. There's not like, oh, we're going to gatekeep this stuff. Like, no, we're going to lay out our business for you. Here's what we do. Here's how we come watch us do it. Here you go. Here's the blueprint. Here's how to scale your business. Here's how to take this full time or take this to the next level. That's really what I want people to get out of this. Okay. Gina, Tony was amazing last sourcing camp. But so was everyone. Yeah. Tony won we do a golden mic award. So we give out an award to, it's like user voted. So all the campers get to vote at the end of camp. Like, what was your favorite session? What session was just like, just absolutely blew your mind? And yeah, Tony just wiped the floor last time. His session was wild. I don't know where this dude came from. I was introduced to him over on Instagram, because he's not like active on Facebook or YouTube or anything. It's like, oh, Tony, where have you been? How are you not a bigger name? This stuff is crazy. Yeah, I learned so much. And even so, like, I'll talk to 7-figure sellers. We've had a lot of 7-figure, even 8-figure sellers come to these sourcing camps. And the thing with that is, like, when you're doing this at scale, if you're doing this at 6, 7, 8, whatever you're doing, when you're doing this at scale, you only need to hear one interesting tip or make one new connection to somebody. Like I've connected with people and we'll share some leads back and forth. You only need to find one little golden nugget for that to save you or make you thousands of dollars over the course of a year when you're doing this at scale. So like Randy, for example, he was in one of our last ones and he heard this little tip about there's a method to get some free small boxes. And he's like, oh my gosh, like, let me go check my bank account real fast. He's like, I spent, I don't know, it was like $600 or something on small boxes in just the past year alone. This one little tip just saved me he'll do a better job of explaining it. I'm sure I'm butchering the numbers, but he's like, man, that one tip is saved and made me so much money. Just that one little thing. Like, I didn't know you could do that. So yeah, they're fantastic. If he wasn't successful, he could be a stand-up comedian. Yeah, I think Tony worked for like a famous band. I forget what the band was, but he was like somebody's personal assistant for like, is it like Guns N' Roses? I don't know. I'll have to ask him again. I forget what he said, but he was like the personal assistant or the band assistant or something like that for the not like a PR manager, but like a day-to-day manager for some really famous group. I like that you said you have to have implemented. No, you do not need any specific tool. I will say Keepa is about the closest thing I'm going to say is like required. But the thing is, like every camp counselor sources differently. We all have our own businesses. So I like to use Nepeto. I'll be doing a session on Nepeto. If you don't have Nepeto, it is not required. I'll give you a free trial so you can try it out, but it's not required. Or you can skip my session entirely on Nepeto and go to a session on tactical arbitrage. So that's another tool that some people use. So we're having people do stuff on tactical arbitrage. Maybe you don't want to use that. Maybe you just want to do things manually, just with Keepa. Awesome. We've got people who just do things like Randy. Randy doesn't like any of the big tools. He's like, I'm just going to do this manually because people don't do that and I'm making a killing doing it. So why would I change? So yeah, we're going to show you a lot of different tools. None of them are required. It's all like, oh, here's a way to do it. Here's another way to do it. Here's another way to do it. If anyone tells you it's like, oh, you have to have this tool to sell on Amazon, well, they're lying to you. They're just trying to sell you something. I'll show you a couple things that are working for me. Other camp counselors, and this is why I love it, because it's like, it's not just me talking. It's not like, oh, Nate's trying to convince me that his tools are best. Like, I don't care what tool you use. I don't care what tools the other camp counselors use. I just want us to follow people. I want to see how they source. And whenever I talk to a new camp counselor, they're like, oh, well, I don't know if it'll fit because I only source like using XYZ and I know you don't like XYZ. It's like, dude, I don't care what you use. That's awesome. I love that you use something different than me because you can show a perspective that I can't show. You are looking at data that I don't look at, or you're thinking about this differently than I am. I want to learn from you. I want to learn from your thought processes. So that's something important to me, that everyone comes with their own sort of styles and tools and stuff like that. Absolutely nothing is required. Keepa is going to be, well, I'll take it back. One thing is required. You have to have a professional Amazon selling account. If you have the individual account, you shouldn't bother paying somebody $200 to learn if you're not going to spend $40 on yourself to have a normal account. So make sure that you have your pro account set up. I recommend Keepa. That should be the first tool that anyone gets, but nothing else is required. Let me see. Any other specific? No. But yeah, we will be talking about a couple different things, but absolutely nothing is required. All right. Let me see if there's any questions over here on the YouTubes. Nope, I think we're good. All right, I'll leave this go for just another little bit. Do you guys want me to find any more Amazon to Amazon flips? Do you guys do A-to-A flips? Do you have any other questions, like any issues or something that was still confusing? Or if you're not doing A-to-A flips, why not? Like, was there something that's sort of holding you up, or like, I just don't really think that XYZ? Feel free to type it in chat and I can try to help answer any questions that you have about that. Okay. Yeah, I'll leave this go for a little bit. I plan on doing some more lives as we sort of lead up to sourcing camp. So I'll probably do one or two of these a week where I'll jump on live, just do some sourcing for you guys, show you either a new tool or like a specific method or something like that. some kind of trick that you can apply right then and there. Like you don't need to buy anything from me or anything like that. Like I want to find you some stuff right then and there. I want to make you some money. I think it'd be really cool if I could do enough of these live videos and give out enough free leads that I make you guys enough money before camp even starts to pay for camp. That's sort of like my ideal goal here. Do you have issues with orders not being fulfilled when doing A-to-A? Not really. No. I mean, sometimes stuff will be like out of stock, and in those situations, I sort of go in knowing like, okay, this might not be fulfilled, but if it's in stock and I order it, it's fine. Yeah, Amazon wants to make the sale. Amazon wants their customer to be happy, and in that situation, you are their customer. So yeah, they're fine with that. On the selling side of things, A-to-A flipping is fully approved by Amazon. We're not like playing in a gray area or like skirting the rules or anything like that. Like, no, it is explicitly approved by Amazon. There are sections. So like if you get, let's say like an inauthentic claim or something like that, on the page where you have to go fight that, usually on that page, you should see a little like drop-down menu or a checkbox for this was an Amazon business order. Click here and you can upload your Amazon invoice directly to that. So like just the fact that that page exists should tell you that they know that this happens and are okay that this happens. And then when you're getting ungated, a lot of times on that ungating page, when they say like, okay, you have to send us a wholesale invoice, it needs 10 units or whatever else, blah, 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 blah. Usually now, ungating's gotten a little bit funky the last week or two, but usually what you'll see on that page is the very last one. It says, like, if you're using an Amazon invoice, you need to send us 50 units or something like that, or 100 units, okay? So again, that's just further confirmation that Amazon knows that this happens. They are okay with this happening. So they're not like canceling orders on us, like, oh, we're not going to do this to her. This is a reseller. We're going to cancel this order. That doesn't really happen with A-to-A flips. Okay, at least in my experience. Maybe other people have. Woot to eBay flips. What are your thoughts about that? Sure, sounds fine. I don't really sell a whole lot on eBay. It's harder to scale. You really have to build a lot of systems in order to make it scalable. It's easier to dabble on eBay. I'll say that. But sure. And here's the thing with eBay, like, instead of thinking like, oh, what about Woot to eBay or Amazon to eBay or Walmart to eBay? Like those are all the same. It's all selling on eBay. I don't sell on eBay, and I don't think we have anything in this sourcing camp about eBay. Maybe if that's a big request, I can bring somebody in to talk about eBay flipping. But it's all the same. It's all just flipping. It doesn't matter where it comes from. It doesn't matter if it comes from Woot or if it comes from Walmart, or if it comes from a thrift store. You're selling it on eBay. So, and eBay is kind of the Wild West. They don't really care what you sell or where it came from. You could get it from your dead grandma's 200-year-old closet. It does not matter at all. All right. But yeah, I've flipped stuff from Woot, just not on eBay. Okay. Let's see. Gina says, I won a section 3 easily because the item was purchased through A-to-A and I had the invoice proof. I love it. Yeah. Yeah. People are always like, oh, well, how do you deal with that? Because if it's from Amazon, they're not going to accept that. I've never had that experience. The people that I know don't have that experience. We've had a 100% success rate, same as you, Gina. I have a 100% success rate. Any issue that Amazon has had, whether it's like, intellectual property or anything, or counterfeit, or the section 3 stuff, like all of that, whatever issue there's been, we've dealt with it with an Amazon invoice, including a third-party Amazon invoice, and I have a 100% success rate. I can't even say the same about legitimate wholesale purchases. I've had wholesale purchases get denied. It's like, oh, this is not valid proof, blah, 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 blah. Like, or we don't approve of this distributor. Like, bull crap, you don't. I know you do. You did last week. But yeah, if I have an Amazon Prime account, can I still do A-to-A flips, but not actually use Prime benefits? Or do I have to downgrade my customer account? What I recommend, Mike, I see questions like this a lot. Because like, oh, can I do that? Can I do that? I feel like that's overcomplicating a very simple path. Instead of trying to figure out, can I do this? Is it okay to do that? Can I switch that? Do I have to flip that? Instead of worrying about any of that, log out of your account. Go to, I think it's business.amazon.com. to create a new business account, brand new. Use your business name from Amazon, so make it the same name as your Amazon business. Use the same address as what's registered to Amazon. Use your like EIN number, all that stuff. They're going to ask for your business ID, so you use your EIN. Set all that up, and then don't click the little button that says free business prime. Just leave that blank. Don't sign up for business prime. And now you have a free business account that you can purchase from that doesn't have prime connected to it in any way, shape, or form. All of your purchases are now separate. So instead of like, because you're gonna probably use your personal Amazon account, I'm guessing. Instead of at the end of the year in tax time trying to figure out like, okay, were those pants for me or were those for flipping, or was that underwear for me or for flipping? Okay, instead of having to do that, now it's just completely separate. It's just, this is my flipping account. So all purchases on this are Amazon flips. So I know easily at the year end, okay, here's all my inventory costs. Okay, that's what I recommend doing. It should only take you about 4 minutes to do that. Which honestly, you're going to take more time trying to figure out if like, okay, am I allowed to do this? Can I do that? Can I wiggle around there? Instead of even worrying about that, just take 4 minutes and just set up a fresh business account, use a fresh new email, just use all the same business information. So your business name, your address and all that, so that if there's an issue and you have to send your Amazon order, your Amazon invoice to Amazon, they see like, okay, oh yeah, we see this is Hustle Buddies LLC and it's registered to 123 Main Street. Like, perfect. This is a match. This is what we've got. So that's my recommendation, Mike. Instead of trying to answer like the what ifs and who's what's and all of that, just take 4 minutes and just set up a new business account because it's free and very, very easy. All right. Any other questions before I pop off? I'll leave the floor open for just a little bit longer. And if you guys like these lives, let me know, and I will do more of them. Okay. Over the past year, I've done this less. I got my Facebook account hacked, and then I had our YouTube account hacked, which that's where I do all of my content business on. So the algorithm hates us now. There are not very many people watching this, which is it's a blow to my inner ego because I used to do these live calls and I'd have like 200 people watching me. Not that you guys aren't important, but it's not like it used to be. So I don't get as much of that feedback. My ego isn't like, oh yeah, I'm doing good. So if you are enjoying this, let me know. Put a thumbs up on the video. Put a comment like, yes, I like this. Please do more of this. Or no, I hate this. Please stop. I don't learn anything. I made no money from you. You're an idiot. Go away. Let me know. All right. Let me see, any last minute questions? Nope, I think we're good. All right, so I'm gonna leave this up here at the top for us. If you are watching the replay, you can scan this QR code. There's Sourcing Camp right there. The link is down there at the bottom. And I'll put this link one more time into our different comments. All right, thank you, Gina. Are you coming this time, Gina? Are you swinging by Sourcing Camp for another round? We would love to have you back. Gina, she was a lot of fun. Was it the Q4 one or the one right before that? I forget, but she was a lot of fun to have in Sourcing Camp a couple times ago. All right, that is it from me, folks. I hope you guys make some money. I hope you made some money from these flips. Have a great night. I'll see you in the next one. Hustle on, everybody.